Hey folks, Zach here with an exploration of GPTZero, one of the tools designed to help professors identify artificially intelligent generated text. So this one has received probably the most press coverage. It's kind of a cool story about how it came into being. Some universities are buying it. Let's have a look and run through some basic tests. So this is the default user interface. You can go here and try it out, even if you don't have an account. This kind of has this humorous test thing here where it says, click one of these buttons to insert some text from one of these things, and then we'll tell you the results. So you can do that and then say, get results. And it says the text was likely written by AI. I find this kind of humorous because it's kind of like somebody has a book of riddles and then they tell you one, and then they tell you the answer to showcase how good they are at solving riddles when it's obvious they had the answer from the start. Pretty weird. Anyway, so this is the free account that I set up, and we're just going to pop some stuff in here that we have had ChatGPT 3.5 and 4.0 generate. So the first one is a paper proposal for reforming Section 230 of the Communication Decency Act. This is a common topic in the freedom of speech class that I teach. Let's see what GPTZero says. So it says this text was likely written entirely by AI. And it is correct. So the user interface here, what it tells you is pretty clean. It highlights the text that it thinks was written by AI. And then down below, it has some numeric data. This has a lot to do with sentence structure and whether or not there is a degree of what it calls randomness in the text. So I'm not sure if at some point those sort of numeric outputs will help to make this more actionable from our standpoint, but right now, it's tough to know what to do with that. Okay, so let's drop in an example, same prompt, but ChatGPT 4.0, get results. This is interesting. This is exact same prompt. Obviously, this is all written by AI, and it says it was likely written entirely by a human, which is obviously not true. So pretty confusing. I'm not sure if that just has to do with the more advanced structure of 3.5. Now, I also teach public speaking. This is a class where we do not ask students to turn in full text, but instead to turn in an outline. This is an outline about adopting a vegetarian diet. Get results. Again, it says it was entirely by a human, and the numeric data down here, the scores are, I believe, higher. Again, I'm not exactly sure what that means. My guess is that because they are measuring things like sentence structure, it is less effective at identifying text like this from an outline than it is from full prose. Okay, and just for fun, we'll do 4.0. And again, it says it was written entirely by a human, which is obviously not true. Okay, so major takeaways from this. Number one, this is an inconsistent tool that appears to be worse at identifying outlines than full prose. And obviously this empowers students to have GPT or another program create an outline and then write from it. In some instances, that may not even be necessary in order to circumvent the tool because it does not appear nearly as effective at detecting text from version 4.0. From a professor standpoint, there is not a lot here that seems actionable. I suppose if this flags something, you could call a student in and say, hey, let's have a conversation about what happened, but that's about the end of it. So there are other plagiarism checking tools, or should I say AI detection tools that Nick and I are going to explore. So don't forget to subscribe if you would like to see some more of those. We think this is an arms race where the generation tools will continue to get better. And so will the detection tools. I guess we'll chart it as it comes. Thanks for tuning in.